So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're expecting a few more, so of course we'll give it another minute or two and see how that goes. Marlena, I like your jazzy, vampy headshot singer lady. It's good hair. I don't know how to describe that hair. 30s? How do you describe that hair? Joanna, where are you? Joanne, are you in LA?
I'm in beautiful Burbank.
Ah, beautiful downtown.
Beautiful Burbank.
I asked because it looks so bright there. I thought you were in Hawaii or something.
It's very bright. I
I'm in
wish I
Redondo.
was in Hawaii.
Sorry, I'm in Redondo, so it's obviously the sun is still up, but it looks so bright there. I thought she must be in the South Pacific somewhere.
It's my glowing personality that
It might
yeah.
be. It might be
Yeah,
that
probably.
adding to it. It's certainly your cockiness. I'm teasing you, Joanne. I don't know you, but I'm teasing you already. I do that, you guys. Get used to it. Wait, I just saw it. Oh, Marlena, yes. Well, you're welcome. Yes, no, yeah, sure. 30 or 40s hairdo, sure. Hair. And Shara, I like your glittery starburst on your cheeks. How attractive. I hope you have that in real life.
Aw, thank you.
You
I'm
have it
trying
in
to
real life?
switch to
No.
my computer right now because I'm on my phone.
I like it. Now I feel plain. I don't have glowing aura. I don't have 30s hair. I don't have starburst on my cheek. Crystal, oh, you and I. Mohammed, we don't have anything special about us yet. We'll make it there. Sorry, everyone. I'm unable to edit the Zoom meeting to allow everyone to turn on their cameras. So everyone is a panelist now. Sorry for the technical flub. All right. So that's Tiffany, who is our tech wizard at the Help Network. I don't think it's going to be an issue, Tiffany, but you'll keep working your magic behind the scenes there, and we'll see what happens. Up to very good. All right. So you're welcome to turn on cameras. You're welcome to leave them off or opt in to turn them on when we get to an interactive exercise. The webinar is going to be at least about 10 minutes of me talking at you. And then I thought I would demonstrate and let you guys do a couple of really, really basic, simple, short exercises that we could do with a full group. Because we had over 50 people sign up. I expect we'll get about half of that actually show up. And so with a group that large, we won't be doing any scenes or anything like that. But we will do exercises that everybody can do at the same time. So we'll probably leave mics off, but I want to see your beautiful faces if you choose to opt in, because then I can give you notes and I go bigger and get more expressive and yada, 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 yada. And now we're streaming and such things. I had to rejoin the Zoom call. Well, Crystal, welcome back. Oh, okay, so this might be helpful. Crystal is saying, I had to rejoin the Zoom call after being bumped to panelists, so maybe other folks might have to do that as well. If you're having weird tech stuff, you might have to rejoin the Zoom call. Hi, Julia Langholt. Lots of good names. Hi, Lori Weaver. You guys, you're so professional with your professional headphones and your glasses. Gloria doesn't need headphones or glasses. She can see and hear perfectly. Stop rubbing in Gloria. Lori Weaver, yay! Lori Weaver's got a fan all of a sudden. Geez, Louise, it makes me insecure. Everybody likes Lori. Oh, gosh, I don't even know Lori. So Tiffany, I assume we'll go at about 10 after, or is there a number that we should be looking for? Okay, so great. Yeah, well, let's just chit chat. Gloria, how are you?
I'm well. Excuse the mess that is this room behind me.
You're the only one who's in a messy room. How dare you? You're cluttering up our entire webinar with your messy
How do
room.
how do I do what Crystal did and make it kind of blurry? I can't do it.
She does a lot of cocaine, so it's
You
more.
just have to do, cocaine, booze, whatever you have.
It's a neurological condition for Crystal. Don't make fun. How do you blur that background, Crystal?
I don't know. It was like that when I got here.
Typical.
I think you have to do it like your Zoom app settings.
It might be in your video settings. Choose video filter. Let's see. Does that do anything? Oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah. No, I'm different colors. I don't like that. Yeah, you can play with all this stuff. Yada, yada, yada. The classics. Put a little hat on him. Ooh, I've had enough of that. There you go. You can play with all that kind of stuff, Gloria, if you want to. I keep coming back to you, Gloria, because your name sounds familiar. Have we worked together?
I don't believe so.
All right. I'm going to look you up later. And we're going to see. We're going to see we're on something together at some point. All right. Now I've lost track of terrific. Okay, so I'm going to start, you guys. I'm getting geared up. Let's get into it. I like to be punctual. I would always wait a couple of minutes, but it's almost 10 after. So let's go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Help Network and my lovely free webinar about improv for actors. So I've got a little bit of an agenda. It's basically I'm going to talk at you for about 10 minutes or so, and then I thought we'd do a couple of exercises. And you can opt in and turn on your camera and mic at that point. We'll see about the microphone actually with some of the group exercises. It may be too cacophonous, but at least you can turn on your microphone and we can do a little something, get a little exercise in. So my name is Brian Palermo. You saw me in the blurb. There's a little bit of information there, but I'll give you a tiny bit more since I'm leading this webinar and you want some credibility from whoever is your professor at the moment. I've been doing improv for over 30 years. Yes, literally 3 decades. I am or my home theater is the Groundlings Theater in Hollywood. I was a company member there for 7 or 8 years, and I've already been an alumni for 14 or something like that. But I still perform over there weekly, and I still teach over there very, very often. I've been teaching for the Groundlings for 20 plus years, been teaching outside of the Groundlings in other comedy spaces for about as long in the corporate world. And strangely, for about the last 10 years, I teach a lot of improv for science communicators. Let that land for a second. And what it is science communicators, I'm a big fan of big science geeks, so I'm a big science fan, but they trend to be less expressive, and sometimes that makes them less effective as a presenter. So I teach a lot of presentation skills to science communicators. The only reason I bring this up for you guys is to sort of frame the idea that you can use these improv techniques, tools, and exercises and apply them to things other than comedy. So that's what tonight's going to be about. The improv that we're going to talk about is not for short form comedy stuff. It's not theatrical or performative. It is for your acting skills. It's for your acting tool belt to give you another sort of technique to use, but it's not specifically for comedy. So I just want to make that clear. There'll probably be, some humor that comes up tonight. There'll be some laughter as byproducts, but it's not about being funny. If you had any anxiety about, well, I'm not a funny person, I don't want to do this, please try to manage that anxiety because I'm not going to ask you to be funny at all. So I am Brian Palermo, Groundlings, yada, yada, improv, yada, yada. Okay, so improv has been around for 80, 90 years. Viola Spolin is often credited as bringing it to America, and it was used originally as exercises for immigrants to better be, incorporated into the Chicago city scene. So it was used for non-actors originally. Then in Chicago, they discovered that, well, some of these things yield a lot of laughter. Let's specifically start building some short formats that take advantage of that, and let's make it funny. So then it became short form with a lot of emotional bursts, with a lot of character bursts, etc., etc. And that's what you may know mostly improv as, short form comedy stuff. Whose line is it anyway? Yada, yada, yada. Now, how does this apply to you? Think of CrossFit or cross training of any kind, and I'm not a CrossFit guy, clearly, because my body is so perfect, I don't need it. But I've seen it. That's across the street from the Groundlings, and they do a lot of cool and wacky and weird exercises. There's a lot of put this sandbag on your shoulder and run up the stairs and carry this tractor to the back of the dumpster and throw it to each other and juggle it. And they do all kind of weird exercises, but of course it's for your body health, your cardio and your muscles and all that good stuff. I'm going to use that very strained metaphor to apply improv for acting. Voice acting, on camera, television, film, stage, whatever you do. Improv is a technique and it's an exercise to help you make more immediate choices, commit more immediately, get into character, and take notes from directors. Basically making choices based on someone else's prompt. So endlessly, we go to auditions. if we're lucky, the director will give you a note and have you do a second take. Very often you don't even get that second take. But when they do, they may throw something at you. Try this guy a little more peevish, or make this goofy dad a little bit more lovable. These are the kind of notes I get sometimes. And you've got to make that adjustment on the fly. Great. We are all trained. Hopefully we can all do that. But some people really like their process and they like to prepare ahead of time. And it's really uncomfortable and difficult to make an immediate adjustment in the room or on the day when you're in front of the camera. So improv eases that. There's a lot of skill sets that go with improv theatrically and comedically that also apply to your work as an actor. I've got a lot of VO friends. I've done a bit in my world. Of course, I wish I'd done more. Like all of us, we always wanted to do more. But in the voiceover world, there's a lot of that kind of improv moment, because they'll give you a take and it's like, oh, now have fun with it, loosen it up, give me one of yours, whatever. You get that note a lot, and it's fun to have that creative freedom. But it's like, I don't know, what do you want? And the script says angry, I'm going to give you angry. No, try something else. All right. You, as an improviser, as an actor, get to make that choice and then immediately commit into that. So what I'm offering tonight is just the idea of improv as additional training to get you comfortable with immediate committed choices. We're going to play with a little bit of emotion stuff, a tiny bit of character stuff, and a little bit of listening, active listening. All right, so I'm going fairly quickly. Let me know in the chat or the QA, or wave a hand, or just unmute yourself and yell at me if I go too quickly, or if you have a question. So right now I will open that up. Any questions from you guys? Am I clear? Is everything cool? The mechanics are great. I'm going to say yes. All right, thank you. There's Shara, you came on. Shara or Shara? It's got to be Shara, right? It's got to be Shara, right? It's got to be Kirby. You're muted.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, no, it's Shara.
Shara, very good. Thank you. Go back to muting. It's not about you. It's not your show, Shara. Jesus. All right.
Oh
where am I? Okay, circuit training for actors. Okay, so here's a big thing. In improv, you must know there is no script. So most people know it as theatrical comedic performance, which is made up on the spot. So there is no script. Because there is no script, there is no wrong. You cannot be wrong in improv, right? If you're doing Romeo and Juliet, you got to say the right dialogue. If you're making up a scene about, two people at the beach, there's no scene, there's no script, there's no, there's nothing you could say that's wrong. I will suggest that there are higher percentage choices that give you a higher percentage chance of success, and lower percentage choices, a lower percentage chance of success. That would be anything that's abusive, off color, not disconnected from you. If your partner says it's lovely at the beach today and you say I'm on the moon, that's a low percentage choice. It's not wrong. Somebody can justify that, but it's a low percentage. You're not really connecting with your partner. So the great freedom of improv is that you can't be wrong, and there's no preparation for it. You can have some skills that we're going to talk about very quickly in a moment, but you can't do anything wrong. So I want to set that up as the framing for tonight, that when we get a couple of exercises going, just commit, just dive in, just jump in, because you can't be wrong. A lot of people get hung up in their head about doing it right or wrong, or trying to impress so-and-so, or trying to impress the casting director or the producer, blah, 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 blah. You're not trying to impress anybody here. I can't hire you, sadly. So just dive into whatever we do. All right, I wanted to cover that. Make a choice and go. All right, so the idea here is instant enthusiastic commitment. Instant enthusiastic commitment to your own choice. And some people like to make their own choices. Some people really like to be directed. It's usually in between. Sometimes you make a choice gleaned off of what you learned from the script. If the script looks like you're the asshole lawyer, half of my career, then you're going to play the asshole guy, or whatever, the really aggressive, arrogant, whatever it is. But very often in the script, it doesn't give you a full character description. That's part of our job. You got to bring something to it. That's a little bit of character and a little bit of emotion, but it's something that makes your character jump off the page a little bit. If you come in and just give a casting director a neutral read, it's not going to serve you. It's not going to differentiate you positively. You're going to be another person who's just reading the lines and they're fine, but there's nothing special about that. So the improv skill is to make a choice and then instantly commit to that. So we're going to do a little instant enthusiastic agreement right now, a little instant enthusiastic commitment to your own choices. So here's how this game works. It's called categories, and I'm going to assign a category for our entire group, however many people we are, 20 people. And in the example, I'm going to say it's brand new breakfast cereals. Your job is to improvise something that sounds plausible. It sounds kind of like a breakfast cereal, but it's completely made up. It's completely fictional. So you can use elements of reality, such as Kellogg's, but then you're going to make up the second part of that. Kellogg's brand bombs or whatever. Kellogg's wheat chocolates. That's probably real, but whatever. So you can use an element of something that's true, but then you're going to make up the other side of it. Now, you can't be wrong. It's improv, and I don't care. I'm not going to be able to hear you. I'm not going to judge you on how clever a writer you are or anything. So what I want you to really pay attention to is your own mechanics here and commit to whatever you say. So if I say it's new breakfast cereals, I want you to just look right at your camera and shout it out. And the less confident you are with your material, the less you like your fake breakfast cereal, the bigger I want you to sell it. All right. So this is a big over-the-top warm-up game, and it's a commitment game. So if I say new breakfast cereals, I'd say 1, 2, 3, go. And I expect all of you to just right into your camera, give me something. Kellogg's Rainbow Pops. Or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can't be wrong. Instant commitment to your own choice. This is instant commitment to your own choice. All right. Am I clear on the mechanics of that? Just give me a hand wave, thumbs up. Everybody cool with that? All right, let's try one. So everybody at the same time, you can leave your mics off for this one. If you opt in for your camera on, that's great, because I want to see if you're engaging. Try to look at the camera. Try not to judge yourself. Just commit to it. And the first category I'm going to give you is everybody give me the name of a new make and model of car, a new car, make and model. 1, 2, 3, go. Give it to me. Good. I can see a lot of lips going. It's good. Yeah, Nicholas came in just to give me his lips so I can see that. Good. I have no idea what they were, but they were all brilliant. All right. Try another one now. A different make and model of a new car. 1, 2, 3, go. Good. Let me see you like physically commit more to put some energy into how you launch yourself at that camera. Now, this one is not a new car. It's the name of a new yoga pose. So not downward dog, not warrior one. You're making it up. You're improvising it. But whatever it is, to your mind, this is the greatest name of the greatest yoga pose ever. And you're going to sell that right at the camera. New yoga pose. Go. Good. Now I do want to hear them. All right, excellent. Mohammed's even demonstrating it for me. Well done, Mohammed. All right, just for giggles, everybody unmute if you choose to. We won't really be able to hear specific words here, usually with 10 people going, but let's see if we can pick out any 1 or 2 of them. All right, give me another new yoga pose. Go.
The
That's so
upside down
So
potato.
pistachio.
Good, excellent. All I heard was upside down potato, and who doesn't want to do that? Good. Made Crystal laugh. All right, it's not about making people laugh. I'm glad it's a byproduct for Crystal there, but the idea is commit to your own choices. In improv, there is no right or wrong. And again, I'm going to say that all night long, guys. So if you're bored of it already, I'm going to say it another 100 times. That gives you the freedom to just commit to whatever it is. Now, on a set, doing a real job, you do have real dialogue. You've got to commit to what that dialogue is. But you can change how you deliver it. You can give it a little bit of flair this way or a little bit of emotional choice that way. And you've got to commit to those choices as well. Because if your delivery is neutral, it doesn't serve you as a positive differentiator. I'm thinking about auditions as well as actually the work. Let's do 1 or 2 more of these. Leave your mic open if you're up for it, because that was fun to me. I would like the name of new self-help books. New self-help books, go. Commit to it.
Be an adult.
The lava core of your heart.
Good.
How I stopped reading this self-help book, and I failed.
I love it. No, that's it. You didn't fail. You sell it, Nicholas. Is like, here's the name of my new self-book. You failed. That's it. If you sell it, they'll buy it. That's a great name of a new self-help book, because there is no wrong. There's only commitment to your own choices. So what we're doing with this is practicing with no stakes. So if you're on a set, if there's a real job, there's stakes to it. There's going to be a lot more pressure. Improv allows you to practice where the content doesn't really have any stakes. I love Upside Down Potato and failed self-help book, whatever. That's fun to me, but it's disposable. No one cares. You know, it doesn't affect your career. It doesn't affect your moment, right? What you're practicing is the mechanics of just committing to your own choice, right? Let's do one more, you guys, because that's fun and silly and stupid. I say that in a loving way. New country and western song. New country and western song. That is, go.
Take me back
The
to
Pyrenees
Indiana.
mountain highs.
Breaky
Ma-
Blakey.
I love it. I can't hear
That's
anything. I think it was Ricky Lake goes to
Slovakia too.
But it's all right. So let's now drop your mics, put your mics back on mute, please. And I'm going to talk at you for another couple of seconds, and we'll do another quickie, one of these things. Where's my silly agenda? Come here, silly agenda. All right. So instant commitment to your own choices, practicing without stakes. All right. Now let's switch over to emotions, right? So in an improvised theatrical comedic scene, it's very easy almost for anybody to just kind of talk, but it's very difficult to raise the stakes in the scene. One way to do that is for you to play emotional choices. So it's very simple to drop into sort of transactional scenes. Hi, Travis, I brought you that file you wanted. Oh, thanks, Lena. You know, I need to get the first quarter financials out. Yeah, great. Are you going to the office party? People can kind of talk, but that's not very dynamic. It's not very engaging. You're not adding anything to it. So a way to address that is to make a strong emotional choice with even mundane dialogue, and that brings it alive. That makes it more engaging and dynamic for the audience, which serves you as an actor because you become more engaging and dynamic. So, hi, Travis. I got that folder you wanted. So just adding a little flirtation to it, or a little anger, mad, glad, sad, scared, and horny. Those are your big five. You can make a whole career out of that. But by adding some emotion to even mundane information, you bring it alive a little bit. So this is a big thing that we teach at the Groundlings, and I'm a big fan of all the improv houses. UCB is still up and running. Second City still in town. West Side Comedy in Santa Monica. We lost Improv Olympic last year, so there's a lot of great. Impro theater is fantastic. So I'm a big fan of all the improv houses. Everybody kind of does the same yes and basics. Groundlings really pushes emotion and character, so that's kind of my jam. That's where I'm coming from here. So the idea of making an emotional choice, but instantaneously, and then committing to that emotional choice is really easy to say, and it's really hard to do. A lot of us as actors have a process. So when I get a script, if I get an audition and it's an actual scripted thing, I do my scene dialogue, I do my scene breakdown. I try to identify some elements where I want to change my emotion, look for the transitions. How do you bring inner life to it? How do you behave truthfully in a fictional circumstance? And all those good acting processes, right? In improv, you don't have that. You don't have the time. You don't have the luxury to do it. So if this is a scene of, two women in a donut shop, lights up, go. So one way to make it more engaging and more dynamic is to make emotional choices. So what I want to do now is a quick little drill where I'm going to assign an emotion to our entire group, right? And I want you to play that emotion at first just with your body, face, and a sound. So no words, no dialogue yet. So off the example of angry, we're not going to use that one, but off the example of angry, I would want to see it on your face, see it in your body language, your gestures, and just you make an angry sound. So I might demo it like this. Ah! 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 Whatever. And feel free to overact and indicate here. This is a big over-the-top sort of a warm-up thing. It's just about getting you loose and, again, committing instantly when you have nothing to support it. So improv, it's a 2-minute medium, man. You got 2 minutes in a short form game, maybe 3, whatever. You do not have time to slowly peel the onion of your character's backstory and get to the motivation. No, you're angry, go. You're flirtatious, go. Whatever it is. So this is part of the drill of just going through different emotions very quickly. So the first one I want you to do is overjoyed, because who doesn't need more joy in their life? So we're going to do overjoyed. I want you to play it big, make a sound with it because I want you to reveal and express, but no words yet. So it's vocal, but it's not verbal. You're not using any words. All right, everybody, overjoyed. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, yeah. Oh. Great. Drop it there. Now, excellent. Immediately go into you are grief-stricken. Go. Oh, God. Yeah. Great. Drop it there. You are humiliated. Go. Oh. Good. Drop it there. Now, loving. You're the most loving person on the most loving planet, the most loving. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Great. Drop it there. Great. We're going to do 1 or 2 more, but now I want you to add words to it. So now you're going to start improvising. I can't even call it a monologue, but you're going to improvise a couple of sentences. I'll give you something to talk about because very often it's hard to grab content when you're also trying to make an instantaneous emotional choice. So we're going to say that all of you are talking to me. So that means write down into your camera. I am your neighbor, and I have brought you the mail that was accidentally delivered to me. I'm giving you your mail that was accidentally delivered to me. So that's the subject matter. I don't worry so much about the content. That's what you have something to talk about, but put your energy into playing the emotions as I'm going to continue to change them, right? So you're all talking about, you can leave your mics off, but you're all talking about the misdelivered mail. If you can, look right in the camera so I can see your faces, and I want you to deliver it first in the emotion of overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed about the mail. I'm your neighbor. Go. Let me see it on your face. Let me see it in your body. Overwhelmed. It's that big of a deal to you. Yeah. It may just be a pizza coupon, but you're overwhelmed. It should be in your shoulders. It should be in your face. It should be in your neck. Great. Pause it there. Excellent. Now, you are supremely confident. It's still the mail. I'm still the neighbor. Go. Supremely confident. Go. Great. I can see people. I can see your faces. I can't hear you, but I can see what you're doing. Excellent. Drop it there. Excellent. 1 more from this. Still the neighbor, still the male, but now you're suspicious. Extremely suspicious. Go. What does that look like? Commit to your own choices. Go big with it. It's a warm-up. You cannot be wrong here. No one is going to put this on a 70-foot screen. Good. Drop it there. Excellent. Yay! I'm cheering for you. Good. Again, the mechanics of what you're practicing here is the idea of making instantaneous choices, but committing to them. It's not enough to be a little bit suspicious or a little bit embarrassed. On the day, at an audition, you've got to be delivering out of 10 all the time. And when you don't have time to prepare, if you don't have time to process the way you normally might do, this is the kind of drills that get you comfortable with an instant change, flexibility, agility, the idea of just going with whatever the note is, even if you don't agree with the note. So there's a lot of the professional side of it where it's really going to behoove us to just make a choice and commit to it. Even if the director then immediately changes, it's like, no, I don't like your lawyer being that much of an asshole. Let's soften him up a little bit. Then you soften him up a little bit, right? But you take that note and you give them a committed choice. Because if you give them a neutral choice, I'm going to suggest it doesn't serve us, right? Okay, that's a tiny taste of playing with emotions and a drill version of it. Yeah, okay. I had another thought, but I'm going to skip it there. Okay. Now, acting, everybody's heard the aphorism that acting is reacting. So in an improv scene, it's very, very common to get stuck in our own heads. And I'm thinking about, okay, we're Travis at the beach and he's going to meet the lifeguard, or no, it's a shark attack. Oh, no, it's an alien. Or no, he forgot his sunblock. You've got all these infinite ideas in your head and you don't know which one is right. Which one should I use? Which one will get a laugh? Which one will connect to my partner? It's just too much. So the skill is to just commit to your first idea. So Travis meets the lifeguard. That's it. Go. Right? You don't get to think it through. Now, if your scene partner is listening to you, they're going to play the lifeguard because you've just set that up, right? So now you have two people in a scene and both of them are without a script. So both of them are only reacting to whatever you give them in the now, in the moment. Improv is very present. So this is, I wanted to mention at the top and I forgot it. There's a lot of, in my opinion, very good actors who have improv specific training. So Amy Poehler and Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph and Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, they're all specifically improv trained actors. And I find all of them to be quite good in most of their things, right? And I can be judgmental because I'm perfect. But the improv skill of being able to commit and being present, being alive in the moment. So no matter what your partner gives you, you're reacting to that. And sometimes it's reacting emotionally, sometimes it's reacting physically, sometimes it's both, sometimes it's with space work or object work or environmental, stage movement, whatever it is. You do not know what your partner is going to give you because there is no script. Everything is made up instantaneously. So the only way to react is very natural and authentic. You're reacting in that moment as a character though. So it's not your reaction as the actor, you've got to react in character. And the only way to do that is to really focus on your partner. You've got to get out of your own head and really pay attention to your partner. So this is practiced and evidenced by active listening. So it's not just, yes, I'm listening to my partner. I love to throw myself under the bus. My very first, acting 101 class, I memorized my lines and I just basically stared at my partner and waited them until they said a cue word. And it's like, as soon as you say my cue word, then I'll act. Now I'm just going to be neutral until you say my next cue word. Now I'm act, horrible acting. Hopefully I'm a little better than that now. But sometimes that's where people start, and you cannot just be alive for the moment after your cue word. You've got to be alive in the scene all the time. Now, not knowing what the script is, because there is none, not knowing what your partner's going to do emotionally or with dialogue or physically, all those things, you've got to be hyper acutely present, hyper acutely aware of everything that your partner's giving you. So improvisers generally have excellent listening skills, not just listening with their ears, but full body awareness, watching and listening, taking it all in. So I want to practice a tiny bit of a listening exercise right now with a game called Last Letter. So how this works mechanically is I'm going to say a word, any word, such as camera, screen, keyboard. I'm literally naming the things in front of me. And if the word was keyboard as my example, your job then is to determine the last letter of that word and then just offer up a new word that begins with that last letter. So off of keyboard, it ends with a D. You would say any word that begins with a D. Dog, Dalmatian, that is a dog, donut, whatever, David, it doesn't matter. But the idea is that it is got to begin with the last letter of your partner's word. What this does is it forces you to not think of what you want to say. So instead of planning ahead, even this one syllable game or one word game, whatever it is, you can't plan ahead of what you want to do. In improv, to be successful and to be unique and creative and good at it, you're not just loading up a joke that you want to say or a line that you want to say, or I'm just waiting for them to shut up so I can do my great Taylor Swift impression. You can't be thinking ahead. You've got to be connected to your partner in the now. And not just the present of this scene, second by second. So that's what this listening exercise and many others exercises. That's what it practices. Because you cannot think of what you want to say until you know the cue letter. You cannot know the cue letter until you listen to my word. So that's what we're practicing here in a very, very simple game. So again, I'll give you a word. You determine the last letter of it. I don't care about spelling, but do try to get the last letter, right? And then immediately offer up a new word that begins with that last letter. You can leave your mics off so nobody's going to judge you if you do misspell it, or nobody's going to judge you if you say dog instead of Dalrymple or something with multiple syllables. I don't care, right? But you can't think of what you want to say. You can't pre-prepare. You can't come up with something that's going to make you look unnatural because you just had this preloaded and it didn't connect. No, you can't do anything until you listen fully to your partner. All right, everybody cool with that last letter game? All right, let's try one. All right, so the first word I'll give you is window. Window. And you say?
Water.
Good, great. I heard water, but I saw people walk. You can leave your mics off for that one. That's fine. It's going to be impossible to hear individual words. But next word I want you to play with is houseplant. Houseplant. You say?
Taco.
Terrific. Water taco. I'm getting one person at a time. It's all boys. Nicholas and Mohammed, who cannot listen to directions about not turning off their camera. All right, next one.
Wait. Well,
How dare you? Okay, next word. Let's go with eucalyptus. Eucalyptus. You say? Excellent. All right, now we're going to try one in sequence. So if anybody wants to opt in, now is the time to turn on your mic. Pardon me, unmute. I'm going to call out the sequence off base of my grid. So the grid may not be exactly the same. So don't look for your pattern, but I'll call you out. I've got Crystal, Mohammed, Joanne, etc. And I'll just go through Nicholas, who is the last person I see with a camera on. If anybody else wants to engage, just turn your camera on and I'll add it. So it's the same game, but now instead of the entire group doing my word cue, I'm going to give one word cue to Crystal. Crystal will offer up her word. That's going to set up Mohammed. Mohammed offers his word. That's going to set up Joanne. And I'll always let you know who's coming up next, right? So, Crystal, I'm going to go off I'm going to set you up with the word computer.
Restaurant.
Restaurant for you, Mohammed.
twin.
Twin, Joanne.
November.
Lori.
Rat face.
Was it?
Rat face.
Rat-faced. I take that a little personally, but thank you. Gloria.
Equal.
Equal. Shara.
Love.
Love. Nicholas.
Eucalyptus.
What is it?
Eucalyptus.
All right, perfect. All right, so that's the idea of listening to your partner. And again, this is a very simplistic version of this exercise. When you do it with a little bit more stakes or a little bit more challenge, you would do at least full sentences. As you build up with some improv chops, you're doing scenes or at least mini scenes. And you could play with this same verbal limitation where you can't start your next word until you know your cue letter, which you cannot know until your partner gives their last word. So in a scene thing, I would say, Travis is at the beach and the lifeguard caught a shark. If Crystal was my partner, she would have to go off the K of shark in that example. What that does, again, forces you to stay focused on your partner, listening to them all the time. It keeps you more present. It's a way of practicing that. Okay, that's a little bit on the listening and staying present and being aware of your presence and yada, 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 yada. We're going to do one little tiny bit of character work now, and it's very tiny little bit of character work. So at Groundlings, as we teach a lot, as I said, we push emotion and character in our improv style. Not that it's better or right or wrong. That's just our style. That's what we do, right? Emotion and character. So we talked a tiny bit about emotion. It brings even mundane dialogue to life. Same thing with character. Now, character is also going to add some physicality to it, maybe a vocal choice or several different vocal choices. I just learned a new word. When you change your voice, anything besides the actual dialogue that you speak is called paralanguage, and I never heard that before. So paralanguage means not only your volume, but your intonation, your cadence, your pacing, your rhythm, all that kind of stuff is called paralanguage. So characters might have a different vocal choice than your own, than your natural, might have a different emotional choice, whatever. How do you get to character? Very often it's not that well described in a script. If you're the lead of a script, if you're the lead protagonist, you can read that feature, or you can read that full sitcom episode or whatever it is, and you can glean information from that through all the dialogue. But you know how it is when we get sides, and I get 2 pages of sides, it doesn't give me a ton of anything, and you've got to make some kind of choice there. Usually I just glean information from whatever little bit is there, right? How to play character, and this is definitely it's a a deeper version than what we're going to do in this little exercise I'm about to introduce you to, but it's the idea of nailing down the character's point of view. So point of view, in my definition, how we're going to work with it here, is the main way that character sees everything in life. And I like to use children's characters that are much more clear, so I get my point across. In the world of Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore is depressed, Tigger is excited. That's their point of view, always. And it doesn't matter what information comes at them. They are always depressed or excited. Even when something the opposite of their point of view comes up, they still greet it with their point of view. So if Tigger's always happy and excited, even when there's bad news, Tigger, sorry, Piglet died. All right, I get to do a eulogy. Whatever, Tigger is always excited. That's how you nail down a distilled point of view, right? And again, you don't have the time to build a backstory, to prepare the inner life of your character, to peel the onion of all that stuff. You just got to make a choice and go. The beauty about this, if you make a big committed choice and it's not what they're looking for, the director, the voice director, whatever, they'll immediately note you another direction, right? And you can make another choice. But hopefully you're giving them good options and you're bringing committed work right off the bat, because improv helps you commit instantaneously, all that good stuff. So Eeyore's depressed, Tigger's excited. I'm going to give you guys a point of view, and I want you to play that with your voice, your body, your face. We'll go back to, I'll give you something to talk about, not the neighbors and the mail thing. I'll give you a new subject matter, but I want you to play it through a very specific point of view. So we're going to start with one that is tomato. I just saw that randomly. Hi, Brianna. I have no idea where that connects to. Let's see. What is the point of view here? Lettuce, tomato. I want to give you something we haven't done yet. Okay, your character point of view is amazed. Your character is amazed by everything they see. So it's not that, aliens have landed and they got laser ears and everything is just turned into marshmallow. It's not crazy. You're a character whose point of view is amazed. You're amazed by everything. If you got a coupon for 50% off, you're amazed by that. If you got a coupon for 50 cents off, you're amazed by that. Your point of view is amazed. That gives you something to play. And again, it highlights and heightens even mundane information. So I want everybody to play the point of view of amazed, and I want to see it on your face and you see it on your body. Do it with your voice, but leave your mics off. Leave yourself muted, because I think it's too many of us talking right now. But I want to see you play amazed, and the setup, what you're talking to me about, you're talking to me, I am your dad, and I just cleaned out the garage. That's it. We just finished cleaning the garage. You're amazed. You're talking to dad. We clean the garage. Go. Let me see it. Start talking about bigger. Go bigger with it. Bigger in your face and your body. Really, go bigger with it. There's no one judging you. Yeah, that's it. Go all over it. Keep going. Keep going. I don't care what you're talking about. No one can hear you. I can't see it. It's the garage. What did you find? An old tire, an old bicycle? Great. Drop it. Yay. Drop it there. Excellent. Very good. Again, I can see you guys, so I can see the engagement, but I can't hear anything. Now, same setup. You're talking to me. I'm your dad. We just finished cleaning the garage. But instead of amazed, your character is disgusted. You're disgusted by your point of view. Is you're disgusted by everything. So I'm going to add a little bit to it. We've cleaned the garage very well. It is clean. You can eat off the ground off the floor of the garage now. You're still disgusted. That is your clear, distilled point of view. Put it in your face, put it in your body, put it in your voice. You're disgusted, dad, garage, go. Launch into it. With commitment, yes, good. I love all your disgusted faces. Good. Drop it there. Yay, drop it there. I can see everybody's face is just gross. There's a lot of tongues coming out. And good. That immediately gets you to a point where you're committing to something. You stand out in a way that is positive because you're making a choice and you're immediately committing to it. We're not taking 10 minutes to ramp you up to something. You're just going. And this is very, very helpful for voiceover stuff. The way what I've done in the past, what little I've done in the past, They come at you fast and furious, man, and you got to be ready to go. And if they want an option and they want a second or third take and they want second and third options, you got to be going with that too. So this ability to trust yourself, the ability to be flexible, be agile, the comfort with making an immediate committed choice, all that is easy to say, and it's really hard to do. It's really hard to execute that. That's why improv is a really good tool to have, because you just go. You don't give yourself any time to overthink it or to judge your choices. There's no wrong choices, yada, yada, yada. You just go. Let's try one more of these, or one or two more of these point of view things. You are grateful. You are the most grateful. Now, here's a framing device for you. Sometimes people who I consider really good actors or well-trained actors, and that's just my subjective take, sometimes people who are really well-trained, they've got their process and they like to prepare, and they feel like anything that's too heightened is bad acting, and it can be. I absolutely agree with that. When you're in this moment of improvising something just to see where it gets you, to see what you can discover, it's like, oh, keep that piece of what you're doing with your hands there, but lose that voice is a little too jokey, whatever. But when you're in the moment of discovery, go for it, go big. They can always bring you back and trim off this or trim off that, or just say, yeah, that one didn't work, let's try another one, whatever. But if you don't offer something more than neutral, then you're not serving yourself. You're not going to stand out positively, right? So I want you to be courageous here and just go for it. Just go really big. So you're all playing a grateful point of view. You are so grateful. And the framing I want to offer to you is, you are the most blank person in the most blank city, in the most blank state, the most blank country, the most blank planet, the most blank universe. Extend that metaphor as far as you want, right? So in this scenario, you're the most grateful person in the most grateful city, everybody, in the most grateful state. There's 300 million people in this country. They're all grateful. You're the most grateful of the planet, of the universe. That's how big I want it, right? It's an exercise, guy. Don't worry about it if it's bad acting, right? It's an exercise. You're the most grateful person. And I am a police officer who just gave you a speeding ticket. Grateful, go. Go. Let me see it. Good, good. Instant choices. I love it on all your faces. I love it. Yeah, it's a negative thing, but you're still so grateful about it. Good, 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 good. Yes, 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 yes. Great, great, great. All right, drop it there. Yay! Good, good, good. All right, so I'll throw a lot of those opposite scenarios. If anybody's familiar with the character Debbie Downer, this is a character that Rachel Dratch does. Rachel is a Second City alumnus, and she's great. I love her. But that character is she depresses others. So not only is she sort of depressive and deadpan, but she depresses everybody else. She's a downer, right? It's a very clear name, title, and point of view. That character's point of view is depressive. It's very clear. Now, they often will set her up at the opposite because that triggers her character. So it's Debbie Downer at Disney World, which is the happiest place on earth. She's still depressive. Debbie Downer's depressive at her own birthday party. Yay for you. Depressive, right? I don't want you to think, however, that these distilled point of views that get straight into just play this one thing. It is very superficial. I get that. I don't want you to think that it's only helpful for big over-the-top comedy. You can use this in your process, particularly when you're preparing, right? When you're trying to find something that will help you create a character of whatever, what does this sitcom have this week? What does this 1 hour drama have this week? You're a superhero. Everything's superhero now. So you're a superhero, but you're the dark and brooding one. Great, that's your point of view, dark and brooding, go, right? So while you're prepping your auditions, as well as while you're in the audition, getting notes from the directors, as well as on the day, getting the notes, playing with your partners, seeing what they bring, and how do you add or counter it, whatever. This kind of flexibility, agility, comfort with instant choices, all of that serves you as an actor, is my opinion. And all of that is what we practice with improv stuff. All right, that's everything I had for us tonight. I'd like to open it up if there's anybody got thoughts, questions, comments. That's great. Otherwise, we can just say I love you, goodbye. But this is the time to say if you've got anything. Tiffany, if there was anything in the Q&A I'm not looking at. Okay, good. It looks like it's all open. Well, great. You got Shar, is that a question? Yeah, on mute.
Yeah. You talk a lot about the Groundlings theater school, for someone who, I mean, I've taken like a few improv classes here and there,
Sure.
but how exactly is it is it an easy process to audition for the?
Yeah, to audition, yes. I thought you were about to say, is it an easy process to get into the company?
Or
Like,
that too.
Oh God, no. That is a quest that is like multi-year quest. But to audition is very easy. It's a group audition. It's usually like 15 people. And they'll run you through a couple of warm-up games. So group warm-up games, it's usually a multi-character story. So everybody's just telling one story together. Travis goes to the beach. It's a lifeguard. It's a shark, yada, yada. Great. That's really more of a warm-up. Then everybody will do two improvised scenes. So Shar, you and Gloria would do a scene. You're the two PTA moms. Then that goes about 2 minutes or so. They end that scene. You sit down, Gloria stays up, Lori comes up, and now we do a completely different setup. You two are robbing a bank, whatever. And in that way, it round robins through the whole group, and everybody does two scenes. That's really what they're kind of looking for, your improv level at that point. We're not an acting school, but we do expect everybody to have some kind of acting ability. If not, we'll ask you to take our intro class as opposed to the basic class. So the audition is to get into the basic class, which is the first class of the whole core program, the whole core track. But we also have the intro class, which anybody can just sign up and take it. That's a lot less pressure. It's a lot less demanding. It's more built for fun. But yeah, the audition, just go on the Groundlings website and you can sign up whenever. And the audition itself is basically that, a couple of warm-ups and a couple of two-person scenes. But we're looking for, are these people, are these auditioners making any emotional choices? Are they able to connect to their partner in any way? If we suggest bank robbers, do they change their character at all? Or is it just, nope, that's Gloria again. It's always Gloria. We love Gloria, but it's only Gloria. We want you to attempt a character. So that's basically audition, Char.
Cool, thank you.
You're quite welcome. Yes, Mohammed.
Hey, do you do any coaching? Oh wait, actually that's the wrong question.
Well, we'll get to that one, and I'll wait for the real one.
Okay, well, I guess you do coaching, but how often are you open for coaching?
That depends on the schedule. I usually get people will hit me up from whatever capacity, and sometimes they have a very specific audition that they want to work on. I'm working with a woman right now for her SNL audition in 2 weeks, which is very exciting. And sometimes it's just somebody wants to pass Groundlings basic class and they need more improv workout. Like everything, you guys, the improv aspect of our art and our fun takes practice. It takes repetition. It takes You got to do it a bunch. So at Groundlings specifically, it's a pass or repeat situation, and I think, I don't have real numbers, but about 80% of us repeat those. I include myself because I repeated too. You repeat these classes just to get more experience, just get more stage time, and get more reps at it. But it's always up to the individual client. If somebody wants to do, I want to do 3 sessions or once a week for a month or whatever, I always customize it.
By the way, do you know Kenny Stevenson?
Of course I do. I haven't seen Kenny in a long time. Kenny and Dorian, they were in the Sunday Company, right behind me in Groundlings land. So I've already been an alumni for 15 years or so. So I met Kenny probably way back then. I know them, but I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, Kenny, he was an old high school friend of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they've done a ton of stuff lately, both of them.
They're good. I would suggest not to push the button so hard, but that improv training helps people do a ton of stuff. I didn't want to be super gross name dropper person, but improv training helps you with all the things I talked about, and it really helps in commercial auditions. I don't know if any of you guys are chasing that. I did for all my years, and I was lucky and blessed and grateful enough to get a good amount of that over the years. Again, I think that specifically speaks to the instantaneous choice. Commercial is a 30-second medium. You do not have time to slowly get there. You got to lights up, you're there, you know? And my favorite example of a commercial improviser is Stephanie Courtney, who is Flo, the progressive girl. So Stephanie, that audition was meant to be for 3 commercials, I believe, but she brought that character to life. Her point of view, just to expand on that, was then everything that the client wanted to be represented as. So Flo represents progressive. So she was helpful and friendly and supportive and not salesy and pushy. You know, that was kind of the point of view of Flo. Fun, but still trustworthy, all that stuff. And you can make any one of those sort of your point of view and attack the scene that way, or attack even a 20-second commercial that way. And because she's so great, the first 3 commercials became very popular, and then, you know, that's a 10-year, $1 billion career off of that. Because of improv, you guys, only because of improv. Any other thoughts, questions, comments? Yes, Gloria.
Okay, so in regards to voiceover auditions, sometimes if they ask for 2 or 3 reads, I get where we can throw in some improv into, you know, that second or third read. Any recommendations or suggestions if we're only allowed 1 read to kind of incorporate improv?
To incorporate improv, I don't know, because sometimes they're picky about not adding dialogue to it. So they don't want you to add any words. If I get a couple of takes, I'll usually keep close to the dialogue, Gloria, but I will change my read fairly broadly. I'll give them 3 different options on the read. So, you know, unless it's very specific, like, you know, you are the stern professor or whatever, then I'll stay kind of in that mode. But improvising, you got to be really careful with if the casting office is comfortable with it. So I might ask ahead of time. Usually they'll put that sort of cutesy phrase, make it your own, or feel free to add to it or whatever. Then you can kind of play around with it a little bit. And sometimes it's not about writing a clever tag. Sometimes it stands out because you came up with a funny word or a couple of a funny phrase that helps it. But more often I find, and I've learned, is that it's just your delivery. The character came to life when you added the extra beat to it, the extra tag to it, allows you to go up on your voice or you come down with it. And so I would be careful with, you know, adding too much, because they don't want you to add a paragraph to the stuff. But again, committing to whatever you give them, commit to it. Because if it's just another sort of vaguely same read or vaguely similar read, it's not going to stand out positively. And I keep saying stand out as a positive differentiator, because people can go too far with this stuff and it stands out as a negative differentiator. I don't want to hire Gloria. She adds a paragraph to everything we do, or she's just, you know, too much of the same, or she went too far, blah, blah. But if they give you the license to play, I would try to give them, you know, 3 different reads that are emotionally different, or something different in the vocal quality. So you play with that para language. Again, the cadence or the rhythm of it, you know, more so than just the volume of it. But that's where you've got to have the confidence in your own choices. You got to commit to whatever you give them, because if you give them something that's just kind of, oh, that's normal, that's nice, it's going to sound the exact same as the 10,000 other people who are submitting their digital file, you know? So I wish I had a better answer for you, but it's kind of situational.
Yeah, great, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else, you guys? Well, I so appreciate you showing up today for the webinar. I really appreciate you engaging. I hope you got something out of it. And thank you. I love you. Goodbye.
Thank
Have a great night,
you.
everybody. You're welcome.